It's today about the Disney curse. What is the Disney curse? So it is basically just Disney movies and Disney films completely bombing and flopping at the box office, or at least underperforming. Yes, a movie can still underperform and make money at the box office. That happened a lot in 2013 and 2018 box office. But 2020 again, you can use the excuse that 2021 box office. Box office has to recover, so it's going to take a year or two for the box office to fully recover. So of course, movies are either opting for the streaming route, the streaming video route, or not even releasing movies in the theaters and only releasing them on streaming services. For example, movies like The Tomorrow War releasing only on streaming, and Gunpowder Milkshake within a normal year would be part of the standard release schedule. And yet people probably had the Phantom Menace that's complaining about how the movie's flopped and how the movie get woke or broke. And you would have movies like The Mitchells vs. Machines and the Phantom Menace trying to make that movie flop because one of the main characters were gay. I bet they would probably do that regardless if people liked it or not. But so the Disney curse is basically this curse that is mostly affecting Disney movies and Disney films. Movies that are produced by the Walt Disney Company. Yo. And yo. Movies by the Walt Disney Company. Basically, yeah. So 2021's box office, they are around 19% of the market share. That's mostly because of Black Widow. But Disney was basically almost becoming a monopoly. They basically, Disney was basically, had more control basically over the box office here. And we have the box office results here, with by the time it went on, movies started actually doing much better at the box office. Yeah, I think the box office is gonna slow down for the next month. It usually does around August, as there aren't really many major releases, and also there's a variant as well. But Disney is not doing too well. Okay, look at the movies Disney released so far this year. Disney released 3 movies this year: Raya and the Last Dragon, Cruella, and Black Widow. So we'll go first into Raya and the Last Dragon, which again, it is part of the animation. Thus the massive decline in Western animation popularity, and nobody really gives a crap about animated movies anymore. Okay, this movie is a box office failure. It had a $125 million budget, so it means make like $250 million worldwide to even be a success, and why it couldn't even be past its own budget, let alone make money at the box office. And this movie is just an absolute failure at the box office. Yeah, it had amazing ratings at the box office, but imagine if it was just a normal release. It would have been one of the biggest flops in history, and box office history. It would perform like movies like Mars Needs Moms. But the thing is, a name that Disney doesn't want to hear ever again. But it's not the only movie to underperform or flop at the box office. Cruella, a movie that nobody wanted, basically, but Disney gave us anyways. A movie about a character that is very unlikable, Cruella, the main villain of 101 Dalmatians. Cruella, the budget is debatable. Some say $200 million, but most sources say $100 million budget. So either way, this movie would have made a small amount of money at the theatrical release, and of course made money on, of course, that dreaded Disney Plus. And despite this movie, without the Disney Plus sales, this movie would have been almost a box office failure. It would have been a tiny success at the box office. And even people who watched Disney Plus didn't really care for Cruella either. Yeah, it probably did have legs, like it did in the theaters, but that was mostly a Disney fanboy saying you had to see it because it had Disney's logo on it. So therefore, it's a masterpiece because it has Disney's logo on it. Because there's the Disney logo on it, of course, as well. And of course, we have Black Widow, which, again, this is a box office for tomorrow. I think it actually decreased it. It was like at 320 or something, and they decreased it down to 318 for some reason. But This is a Marvel movie in 2021. Again, people don't really. I think the whole reason why people don't want to see this movie is because of Disney Plus. Because Disney basically is advertising Black Widow only on Disney Plus on YouTube, and mostly on TV. They're mostly saying watch it on Disney Plus, basically, because, and this is the time when the Delta variant scale started coming around, and people don't want to go out to theaters and stuff. And then we have the newest movie, Jungle Cruise. Jungle Cruise is projected to be a major box office flop. This movie had the same budget as Black Widow, same budget as F9. And even under the normal box office, this would be a massive box office failure. It would likely open to around $50 million if it didn't have Disney Plus help, and it would probably end up making $350 million worldwide because it doesn't have a China release. Yep, it doesn't even have a China release. They're hoping it'll be the next Pirates of the Caribbean. Really? And I think part of the backlash is because of how they're changing the ride. They're changing the ride because it's quote-unquote too racist, so people are going to boycott this movie. Especially the Phantom Menace. And people who just don't like Disney. I think it's just people are sick of the Disney company. People are sick of the Walt Disney Company. You get 2020's box office as well. People didn't really care for Onward. If it wasn't for the pandemic, Onward would have still flopped anyways. Mulan would have been a massive meltdown for Disney either way, and it would have still been a financial loss for Disney. Same thing with Soul. People just don't care for Disney anymore. Be it Star Wars or Rise of Skywalker. Really started Star Wars or Rise of Skywalker. Star Wars or Rise of Skywalker, yes, it didn't make $1 billion, but is the lowest grossing of all the main Star Wars movies, especially if you adjusted for inflation. Phantom Menace did better. Revenge of the Sith did better. The only one that did worse is Attack of the Clones. That's just laughable at best. The only Star Wars movies that did worse is Solo. Oh yeah, and also Solo or Star Wars Story. We can't forget that thing exists. But Disney's absolute mishandling of the Star Wars franchise led to a performance like this. Abysmal ratings compared to your typical holiday release, and just abysmal sales overall. Basically. Here. And we can put it against Star Wars the franchise. Star Wars the franchise. And it's one of the highest grossing movies in the series. But if you really look at it, this is of course excluding, inflation, excluding inflation. Okay? If you include inflation, let's compare it to all the other Star Wars movies. Let's just compare it to the prequels and some of the world's grossing Star Wars franchise films. Let's compare it to Revenge of the Sith and Episode 1. You can see that this movie did worse than Episode 1 and Revenge of the Sith worldwide. They worse than both. Okay? It can also compare it to, of course, the original trilogy. And you'll see that this movie is not doing that the sequels are not doing too well at the box office. Return of the Jedi, made $1.3 billion at the box office. Then on Power of the Last Jedi, Empire Strikes Back. Put Empire Strikes Back here. Empire Strikes Back. They stopped tracking Empire Strikes Back. Funny, ironic enough, they stopped attacking Empire Strikes Back. But Empire Strikes Back eventually made $1.8 billion worldwide. But the original Star Wars and here's the original Star Wars. Original Star Wars made $3 billion. The sequel trilogy, if you adjust it for inflation, does not even pale comparison to the original trilogy sales. The only one that compares is The Last Jedi to Episode 3. And even Attack of the Clones. So what means the Rise of Skywalker is similar to the Attack of the Clones? That's what I'm telling you. Disney's mishandling of the Star Wars franchise. It is slightly better than Attack of the Clones. Yep, it is slightly better than Attack of the Clones. The entire original trilogy defeated The Last Jedi, of course. 1.8 billion. If you include The Last Jedi here as well. It can be the same thing said of Marvel as well. The same thing could be said of Marvel as well. Yeah, The Last Jedi did worse than every original trilogy film, basically. And we can do similar things with, Pixar. Okay, Disney refused to release Luca and Soul and Fetus. Why? Because they have been major box office failures. Disney does not want to lose too much more money. It's obviously they're trying to put all the eggs in Disney Plus now to hope it does well. To hope that, at least Disney Plus will make money for us, because we're also going to have wash after wash after wash. The Marvel shows did not really save Disney Plus, as well as Disney Plus continues to slump in America. As Disney Plus continues to slump in America. As Disney movies and Disney-owned movies continue to bomb. Fox continues to lose money and every Fox release ever since Disney bought Fox has continued to lose money at the box office. If people who say karma isn't real, well, I guess karma is happening to Disney and the Disney company. Good thing is finally happening, and we can finally celebrate the fall of Disney. The fall of a company that especially their own founder would goss and hate looking at now. A company that once strided for innovation and unique ideas, now just wants to buy every other property out there and rehashes and reuses ideas. It's kind of like if Nintendo did the same thing as well. Well, oh wait, they kind of do with the new Super Mario Bros. Series, but not as much as Disney. Yeah, Nintendo does bring back older games, but Nintendo still makes new ideas, even using older IPs and refreshing them with these new ideas. Disney, they just retrend the same ideas over and over and over again. It's getting sickening after a while, Disney. Nobody wants to see the same things over and over and over again. People want something different. Enchanto and Turning Red might be a turning point for Disney, but overall, the Disney curse is likely to continue, as people are sick and tired of the Walt Disney Company. People are sick and tired of a company that wants to monopolize the box office for itself by trying to buy up every single company they possibly can. Disney truly is the EA of movies and film. They buy up every company and buy up every popular property they can because they want every franchise possible for Disney as well. Star Wars, Marvel, and all Fox's properties are forever ruined by Disney's tuts, modern Disney's tuts, Bob Chapek's tuts as well. So that's basically it about this video. Goodbye.